My name is Dustin Mason, and it's spelled Dustan Mason.
What is your business name and your title?
The name of the company is Ground Zero Media, and I am the owner.
What was your profession before you decided to become an entrepreneur?
My profession was stay at home dad.
What was your defining moment that sparked your interest in this profession?
A few years ago, there was a show called On the Lot. It was a show about independent filmmakers, and um, it was very intriguing. He had everyday people from all over the country making little videos and little movies, and they all come together to try to do something bigger and something more. And it was fascinating. So I think that was the time when I decided that this is what I wanted to do.
Explain the company mission and or format.
The company mission. The company mission is to produce and create all things creative, whether it be video, web development, film, games, visual effects, pretty much anything and everything under the sun that can have the banner a creative medium.
Can you explain the services that this company will provide?
We will have everything from video production to post production, audio and music creation. There'll be a full blown music studio, sound recording for scoring and Foley. Also, we have a green screen area, black and also white for both video, compositing, and photography. Also, repair. Computers are part of everyday life. Everybody's got one or two, and they need maintenance. So we'll be doing a lot of simple repairs and updating and things like that.
What types of media do you like most?
Uh, I think first and foremost would probably be the sci-fi genre, or comics. It's kind of a toss up there. But if we're talking about film, then it would be sci-fi, fantasy, space, that whole nerd Star Wars versus Star Trek thing.
Where would you say your motivation comes from?
My motivation comes from a lot of different places. My children, for one, I have 7, so they are very different and very vibrant, and their imaginations are just fantastic. They can come up with something out of thin air, and it just blows my mind. But in other areas, motivation has always stemmed from the comic book industry and those types of stories and those fantasies.
Have you had any formal education in this field?
Formal education in this field, I have been to school for commercial art. But as far as film, not as of yet. I'm hoping to actually go for animation or digital cinematography myself in the near future.
What are some of your interests that you have besides filmmaking?
Well, I'm a really big kid, so my Nerf gun collection is bigger than my kids' Nerf gun collection. I have comics. I love movies. Just the whole fantasy side of things. So creativity, the colors, the art, imagination, all of it.
Do you come from a creative family?
Yes, actually, my mother's side, they're singers. With the exception of one, my uncle, who I'm told I look just like. He's an artist slash photographer. But everybody in my family, on my mom's side, sings, and there are 8 of them. So and it's trickled down to my children as well.
PC or Mac?
um, well, I learned computers on a PC first, and I was introduced to Mac, and after that, there was no contest. It's Mac all day with a side of PC every now and again, if absolutely necessary.
If you go back in time, say 5 years, and tell yourself three things, what would they be?
Uh, Number one, read. Read everything you can get your hands on when it comes to the things that you're interested in. It's amazing the kind of information that's out there. And if you take the time, you can learn a whole lot without spending a dime for school. Uh, Second would be to start in the craft that you want to be in professionally. Um, if you have an interest in photography, shoot pictures, practice. If you have an interest in, web development, build websites. Play with the coding and figure out how things are done. Um, and I think the last thing would be to uh, buy stock in Apple and Google and Facebook.
Do you have a personal motto?
Actually, I have two. Um, First would be chance favors the prepared mind. If you prepare yourself for whatever you believe is going to come, chances are things are going to come to you in that area more often than not. Uh, and the other is bones heal, chicks dig scars. Pain is temporary, but glory is forever.
Name three things on your bucket list.
Oh, uh, well, I would love to go to the uh, Chicago, or what's the bigger one? The San Diego Comic Con, and meet Jim Lee, Scott Williams. That would be an awesome one. Um, I would like to completely produce a full length feature film and uh, just to travel to as many places as I can.
What advice would you give it to a aspiring filmmaker?
Don't keep yourself in a box. If you like I do, if you like, sci-fi types of movies, that's fine, but don't shut out other types. Like romance, romantic comedies, documentaries. In those other areas, there are valuable techniques and tools that may not be in the realm that you're interested in, but you can learn a lot from those other areas.
What are the three regrets you have regarding this profession?
Oh, there were some opportunities early on that, quite frankly, I was just scared of. I didn't believe in my ability, I didn't believe in myself, and I let them pass by. Uh, Another would be um, I didn't think that I was ready to even start until I learned more. You can start whenever you want to. You can always, even if you don't know much, even if you don't have the right equipment, all those are excuses. You can use a cell phone. You can use a borrowed camera. Um, Definitely do it when you have the ability to do it. Because when life hits, it hits, and it's hard, and you may not get the opportunity again.
Do you have any unusual talents?
uh, yes, according to my children, I can pop every joint I have, and including my nose.
Where do you see your company in 10 years?
In 10 years, I would like to see this company striving in this area and the surrounding areas. Um, I want to be the hub for the film industry in my area because there isn't one. Um, the goal is to, make a lot more films in this area as opposed to going to Atlanta or New York, which is fine, but there's a lot of talent, a lot of great architecture here, a lot of great places, a lot of everything, and it should be exploited.
What would you like to have accomplished in that 10 years?
Well, like I said earlier, I'd love to have a feature length film created, um, a video game created, and uh, have a summer home somewhere warm with sand.
How is your business progressing?
Well, we got the place back in March or April, and the building itself is a warehouse kind of place. Used to be an old Kroger's back in the 40s or 50s, I think it was. Um, and it was filthy and filled with old furniture, and there was a lot of things to be done. And with it being just mostly myself, I do have a partner. Um, um, my kids scattered, so it was basically just myself coming in and when I could and clean up and painting and things like that. So it's coming along. It now resembles a studio, but there's still a lot of construction to do. But it is coming along. It's a lot further than what it was when I started.
Where is your business located?
We're located in Cincinnati, Ohio, and it's wintertime now. So for all you folks who are in Florida, I hate you.
Who are some of the people involved in this venture with you, and what are their roles?
Well, my good friend Carlo, who is a high school friend, he and I are both artists, and we've been talking about doing something like this for a long, long time. And the opportunity presented itself, and just everything kind of fell in the right place, and we took a plunge and jumped. Some other folks that are involved a little bit later are some very, very talented people in the music industry here locally. Um, uh, James Allsbrooks, his stage name, I guess you'll call him, is Bigga. And he does phenomenal work when it comes to engineering and sound production. So he's heading up the sound area.
What are some of the types of projects that you are working on now?
There are a lot of things in the fire. One being several uh, very, very short films, minis basically, just to kind of showcase the diversity of things that we can do here as far as compositing and videos and photos and special effects and music production. So there's several projects, small things that are going to be out there and showcased on our website to kind of let everybody know, hey, we're here and we're not playing.
What kind of equipment do you use?
Well, we have several things. It's progressed over the years. We've got a lot of standard definition cameras. Canon is our primary standard definition Canon series. But we also have, of course, the Sony FS100, the D70, D700, D600, a lot of digital SLR cameras, as well as Macs, i7s, some Franken boxes that I've built, and just assorted other materials that I've come across over the time and brought in, and now they're actually becoming useful.
What is some of the software you use?
Um, well, anything that works. Um, the Adobe suite, the Apple suites, and there's a lot of quirky, funny little pieces of software out there that do really wonderful things, one or two things very, very well, like Video Trace, which is something that probably a lot of people haven't heard of, but it's a phenomenal program. Um, and so we do a lot of things with those, especially with the 3D stuff. Maya, View, some new motion capture things, Crazy Talk, all kinds of stuff. So there's a lot of software. Pretty much anything that works, we put it in our pipeline.
What is your favorite movie?
Wow. That's a hard one. I have a lot of favorites for a lot of different reasons. Um, I love the Matrix series. Probably one more than the others. But if I had to pick one right now, the way I'm feeling, it would probably be, uh, well, see, that I really don't know. There's just so many. Um, but I like Chronicle. Chronicle is very good uh, for the effects. Uh, uh, it really just depends, on the mood. But there are a lot.
Well, what is the least favorite movie?
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Absolutely, hands down, the worst movie I've ever seen. It wasn't funny. It's supposed to be adapted from a comic. It was just not the greatest movie ever at all, period.
What equipment is on your wish list?
Well, I would definitely like to get another nice camera, series of cameras. Um, I'm looking at the Black Magic series. Those are fantastic, at least from what I can tell. I'd love to get my hands on the up and coming Mac Pro, that cylinder, that black cylinder. It looks sweet, and it's got some serious power behind it. Um, and in general, I'd love to be able to shoot with a Red, Epic, or an Alexa, one of those $50,000 cameras. That would be fantastic. Um, but I'd settle for a really good GoPro. You know, we're poor over here, so.
If you could remake any movie, what would it be?
Oh wow. I would have to say The Last Blade. Um, Although I love the comedy, it just did not fit with the other movies. I would kind of strip out a lot of that and make it a lot more serious, like it should be. Um, there's a couple of movies like that. Daredevil, I'd probably do that one over. Um, just there's things they could have done that are in the stories that should have been brought to light and they weren't. And it's like having the Superman and then a Richard Donner Superman. If you've seen the regular one, you thought it was great until you see the Richard Donner Superman and it puts the other one to shame. That's kind of how I see it.